So today I'm going to show you one of my favourite slow cooker meals. I absolutely love making this one in winter. It's so hearty but also really nourishing and healthy. Slow cooker meals are perfect to quickly chuck on while your little one's napping or while they're happy having a little bit of tummy time. This little one wants to be on me at the moment, so I'm just going to chuck the sling on and get this done really quickly. So I've created a gluten and dairy-free version of beef stroganoff, and we're also using bone broth in place of stock, so we get those extra nutrients in there as well. You can also feel free to mix up the veggies based on what you've got in your fridge. Slow cooking the meat also makes it a lot easier to digest, so if you're someone that struggles a little bit with digestion, you might feel better eating slow cooked meat rather than just your typical steak. So I'm just quickly peeling and getting on top of all these veggies while little Olive is happy looking at me. It might not last long, so we'll get it done as quick as possible. I prefer to do all my chopping without her in the sling or the carrier, so even if that means I might chop and prep my veggies earlier in the day or earlier before preparing the meal, then all I have to do is throw everything together when I've got her in the sling. That's something that kind of makes it a bit easier for me. But that's also why I've created a lot of recipes that only take 5 minutes hands-on time, because, you know, most bubbies are quite happy sitting there looking at mum for 5 minutes, or you can kind of find a few spare minutes to get the bulk of the meal prepped because it's that quick. Okay, so now I've finished the potatoes. I'm just going to go wash them, clean up a little bit, and then continue on. So I just get all my scraps and chuck them straight in the bin, or if I'm doing a big meal prep, I'll chuck them in the sink and clean up later. But I do find cleaning as you go means there's less mess at the end of the prep. So roughly chop the potato. They can be fairly large. I obviously don't have amazing chopping skills. There's no method to what I'm doing, so just pick whatever size you want to do and that will be fine. And now we can start popping all our veggies into the slow cooker as we chop them. So just like the potato, I'm going to roughly chop these carrots. They can be fairly large, chunky pieces, so just depending on what suits you. Just remember that they will soften completely, so even if you do have little ones eating this, these veggies are going to be perfectly soft. So the good thing about using a slow cooker meat is that you can buy organic at a really reasonable price because it is a cheaper cut. It does have a bit more fat in it, but I like that. You know, we need those healthy fats to build our hormones and help with digestion, so don't shy away from that little bit of marbling in the meat. So I know in some slow cooker recipes like this, they tell you to brown the meat first, but personally, I've never noticed a difference in the flavor, and it's just one extra dish to clean. So I never brown my meat before putting it in the slow cooker. So I managed to just get everything chopped and in the slow cooker before Olive decided she needed to be held. So this is the easy part now. I'll just put the rest of the ingredients in there and give it a good stir. So nice and easy to do if you do have to have your little bub in a sling or a carrier. So I didn't realize, but I was actually out of Worcestershire sauce. I don't know if that's how you say it, but you know what I mean. So I'm just subbing in tamari and a little bit of honey. So you could use soy sauce if you've got that. I'm using bone broth powder with boiling water in place of stock. I just like the extra nutritional benefits that you get from the bone broth powder, but you can definitely use stock. So I use almond flour instead of regular flour just to slightly thicken it up, but you could use any other sort of neutral tasting gluten-free flours. Right, so after that's really nicely combined, you just pop the lid on and let it cook. And then lastly, just before serving, I'm going to stir through the spinach leaves, which will just slightly wilt them. You can also serve this with some rice if you'd like. For a dairy-free sour cream option, just check out the recipe. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and if you'd like to see more quick, easy and healthy recipes, hit the subscribe button and visit my website for more.